In this module, we are going to study about cloud computing architecture, cloud service delivery models and cloud service deployment models, right. So, let us understand about cloud computing architecture. Before we go that, let us understand the NIST definition of cloud computing. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, is an organization which is the core team, or we could say the standard organization which looks after the cloud computing tasks. Okay. So, it says that cloud computing is a model for enabling ubiquitous, convenient, on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. Resources like networks, server, storage, applications and services that can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management effort or service provider interaction. So, when we say ubiquitous, it means available everywhere. Okay, enabling the services are available everywhere, right, and they are very convenient, on demand network access. Whenever you want, through the network, through the internet, you can get those services. You, let us say you are using some of the services, you need more of such services, you need more resources. Okay, you can get them at any point of time, right. So, you can on demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. So, there are a lot of resources available. Whenever you need more resources, you can get them at any point of time. That can be rapidly provisioned. Setting up those resources or utilizing them, configuring them is very easy, and released with minimal management effort. If you do not want them, your task is done, you can release them very easily, right. So, this is the standard definition of cloud computing by NIST. Now, let us see the cloud computing reference architecture, which is also proposed by NIST, right. So, it has 5 different actors. Okay. So, the actors are cloud consumer, cloud provider, then we have cloud broker, we have cloud auditor and cloud carrier, right. So, these are 5 different actors. These are like 5 different bodies or 5 different people who are involved in the cloud computing task, in the whole cloud computing scenario. Okay. So, we will understand each one of them. If you see here in the cloud provider, it does the majority of the task. It has lot of things to do, right. It supports different layers, service layers, like IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. Okay. It also takes care of hardware and the physical resource layer. It takes care of the hardware part of that, right. It also focuses on security, privacy issues. Okay. So, cloud provider has the bigger role to play in the cloud computing reference architecture. Along with that, simply cloud provider cannot run a cloud computing facility, right. We need lot of other people to involve in this execution of this cloud computing, right. Let us understand one by one each of these things, right. So, the cloud computing reference architecture defines 5 major actors: cloud consumer, provider, carrier, auditor and the broker. Okay. Each actor is an entity. It could be a person or an organization. Let us say consumer could be you or me, whereas provider is an organization, right. So, auditor could be one organization or a single person, carrier could be a organization, right. Broker could be one organization or a person. It depends on the context, right, that participates in a transaction or process and performs tasks in cloud computing. Okay. So, the actor could be anyone who is involved in the cloud computing activity, right. A cloud consumer may request cloud services from a provider directly or via a cloud broker. A cloud auditor conducts independent audits and may contact the others to collect necessary information, right. So, let us understand these 5 people. We will see these definitions in detail. Who is a cloud consumer? The first one, cloud consumer is the principal stakeholder of the cloud computing service. He is the main person, because if there is no consumer, there is no use of cloud computing resources, right. A cloud consumer represents a person or an organization that maintains a business relationship and uses the service from a cloud provider. Okay. Let us say TCS is using AWS services. So, he is the cloud provider and he is the cloud consumer. So, he maintains a business relationship with the cloud provider and uses the services from the AWS, right. A cloud consumer browses the service catalog from a cloud provider, requests the appropriate service, sets up service contracts with the cloud provider and uses the service. like we are doing in our lab. We log into the cloud platform, we look for the service catalog, we see all the list of services, then we request the appropriate service, right? Since we are users, for practice we are doing it, but for company they have to set up a service contract. It means they have to sign up the service level agreement, okay, and then they have to use the service, okay. So the cloud consumer may be billed for the service provision and needs to arrange payments accordingly, okay. So since we are consumers, we are using the services by the provider, we will be billed by the services what we are using, right? So we have to make the payment. Who is a provider, right? A provider is a person or an organization, mostly an organization. It is the entity responsible for making a service available to the interested parties. So this is the core component in the cloud computing reference architecture, cloud provider, right? So if you see this diagram here, it takes care of service deployment, service orchestration, cloud service management, security and privacy. All these tasks are taken care by the cloud provider, right? A cloud provider acquires and manages the computing infrastructure required for providing the services. You are seeing AWS, you are seeing Azure. We are saying they are cloud providers, right? They are actually gathering the infrastructure, they are actually collecting the infrastructure and setting up an environment, okay. And their job is to deploy new services. Let's say tomorrow some new programming language comes, they have to host in that, they have to make a service in that, right? So they will be doing that setup of infrastructure, runs the cloud software that provides the services, right, and makes arrangement to deliver the cloud services. What all cloud services we need, they are setting it up for us, right? Through network access, through the internet, they are providing us the services. So the major activities of cloud provider include service deployment, new services they have to deploy in that, that is their job, because he is the provider. Service orchestration, how do we communicate one service to the other, right? When I am doing a particular task, I may need some multiple services to be used, so that also he has to take care, they have to take care. Then cloud services management, monitoring, updating those services, something's outdated, refreshing them, all that they have to take care. Also the security and privacy of the data and the services, it is their responsibility, right? So this is the role of cloud provider. Then we have cloud auditor. Okay, let's say I as an individual organization from NIT, I have formed an agreement with Microsoft, okay, and we made an agreement saying that you will be providing us lot of services, right? And we signed one contract, something, we have signed a contract, okay. So in that case, right, so whether the provider, whether the Microsoft Azure is providing what all services I need or not. So I can go to an auditor, I can have an auditor who will be checking whether Azure, whatever they have promised, are they giving everything to me or not, right? So a cloud auditor is a party that can perform an independent examination of cloud service controls with the intent to express an opinion thereon. So their job is to examine the services, whether they are working according to the standard defined by NIST or not. Audits are performed to verify conformance to standards through review of the objective evidence. Even cloud provider, they have some standard, they cannot launch any service they want, they have to go to the NIST, they have to get it audited, that everything whatever we are offering is everything as per the standards. That is the job of the auditor, his job is to audit. Also, an auditor can evaluate the services provided by a provider in terms of security controls, privacy, impact and performance. For NIT Trichy, they have promised 99.9% availability or uptime. Whether they are achieving this or not, that also can be audited or verified by the cloud auditor. Then we have cloud broker, right? So sometimes I may not be able to access some of the services of cloud. Let's say I am using Azure, which is a little complex for me to understand. I may go to a cloud broker who can help me in getting these services configured for me, right? So there are a lot of other things what cloud broker does. As cloud computing evolves, the integration of cloud services can be too complex for a cloud consumer. For me, working with GCP, Google Cloud Platform, is little difficult. I don't understand those services easily. I want to use them, I want to go for GCP, but I don't know how to use that. So I may contact a cloud broker who has full knowledge on the GCP. He can help me in getting those services or doing the setup, right? So a consumer may request cloud services from a cloud broker instead of contacting a provider directly, right? So cloud broker is an entity that manages the use, performance and delivery of cloud services and negotiates the relationship between provider and the consumers. So when I will go and request a third party, that third party fellow will go and talk to the provider and get me some discount, or he will help me in creating the relationship, right? So in general, cloud broker does three different tasks. The first one is cloud intermediation, right? So it's a kind of a broker who will help me in talking between the provider and the consumer, right? A cloud broker enhances a given service by improving some specific capability and providing value added services to the consumers. Next is service aggregation. So combining multiple services to form new services, that also can be done by cloud broker, right? And service arbitrage. Service arbitrage means a broker has the flexibility to choose services from multiple agencies. For me, I will say this is my requirement, you get it done. Okay, so he will talk to multiple cloud providers and get that facility ready for me. It could be from multiple cloud providers. That is taken care by the broker, right? And finally, the cloud carrier. Simply, it is nothing but the internet. Okay, so a cloud carrier acts as an intermediary that provides connectivity and transport of cloud services between the consumer and the providers. Cloud carriers provide access to consumers through network, telecommunication and other access devices, right? For example, cloud consumers can obtain cloud services through network access devices such as computer, laptop, mobile phone, internet, etc. Okay, basically it's a channel or a medium through which I get the services, right? So this is about the cloud carrier. Okay, so these are 5 different aspects in the cloud computing reference architecture: cloud consumer, auditor, provider, broker and the cloud carrier, right? So that is about the cloud computing reference architecture.